Next reading is going to be from 1 Kings chapter 3. Got to back up here. Chapter 25 of 1 Samuel. It tells about David and how he received Abigail as his wife. And it says, and David also took Ahinoam of the Jezreel. They were also both of them his wives. And it mentioned Saul, wife Michal, or David's wife Michal, who Saul gave to him, but at this point give away. Okay, and David's heart was starting to be taken from him. And in the next chapter, we notice that David did not inquire of the Lord like he did so many times before. But here it says, then answered David and said to Ahimelech the Hittite, and to Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, brother to Joab, saying, who will go down with me to Saul, or to the camp? And he didn't inquire of the Lord, he asked Ahimelech. So now David's heart was being taken, and I wonder if it had anything to do with the wives he started to accumulate. So over here in chapter 27, it says, and David said in his heart, I shall now perish one day by the hand of Saul. And we know that didn't happen. So this is where David, left to his own devices, would consider something that wasn't going to be. This isn't. So it says he said in his heart. Okay, once again, interesting that would happen after his wives. Now in 2 Samuel chapter 10, it tells us some of the countries, or the lands that David took. Ammon, or the Ammonites. We see that the one mentioned the Hittites just a moment ago, and anyway, just want to get off the point. But when we get to chapter 11 of 2 Samuel, it says, and it came to pass after the year was expired, as the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servant with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon. See, but he tarried still at Jerusalem. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. This is the beginning of trouble. Once again, a woman saw a woman. Now, ladies, don't get me wrong here. I'm not making a plead against woman or nothing by any means. But just interesting. There was a woman again that kind of stole his heart. Through Bathsheba, Solomon was born. But when we get up to 1 Kings, so that's interesting too, because that's chapter 11 of 2 Samuel. Now, I could jump, which I should right away, to 1 Kings 11, because just remember that. 2 Samuel 11 and 1 Kings 11. Because there's a but involved there. But David tarried. And then in 1 Kings chapter 11, there's a but also, and a mention of the heart also. But here's the next part. Okay, look what happens here. Oh, doggone, if I can find it. They sought for a woman. Sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coast of Israel, and found Abishag the Shunammite, and brought her to the king. The damsel was very fair and cherished the king. Now, why'd they have to look for him? Now, she's just there to keep him warm. She don't have to look necessarily special or nothing. Well, Adonijah saw this, and he probably thought, whoa, I like this king business. I want to do that myself, because I like the thought of, somebody finding a woman for me. So that's right after that mentioned that Adonijah decides he wants to be king. There's more to it than that, of course. But then, remember, when Solomon was made king, Solomon, the request that Adonijah had of Solomon was, Adonijah said, I desire one small petition of thee. I pray thee, say me not nay. Let Abishag the Shunammite be given to Adonijah thy brother to wife. Now when Bathsheba asks Solomon, Solomon replies with, "Then King Solomon swore by the Lord, saying, God do so to me and more also." You know, what's he talking about? God kill me? No. So why would he say and more also? What's he going to do more than kill him, you know? Maybe wreck the kingdom or something? Maybe he's talking about. But I think he swore by the Lord and brought evil upon his own head regarding even a woman, if Adonijah have not spoken this word against his own life. Because what did God allow? God allowed Solomon's heart to be stolen from him. And more also. Do so to thee. God, do so to me and more also. Really it's sort of like saying, let my desire be upon women and more also. Because in chapter 11, once again, speaking of the heart, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, the lands that David had conquered. Look, and his wives turned away his heart. It's another matter of the heart. So when we start on 1 Kings chapter 3, we'll learn the beginning of sorrows. Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Always trouble when you're talking about Egypt in the Bible. It always leads to trouble. And it's the beginning of trouble for Solomon and his heart being stolen away. It comes just after the chapter where he had Adonijah killed for making such a request as, give me a woman.